Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the Marvel Studio Lab. This is the video number 8. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been continuing configuring we have begun configuring the Active Directory user home directory using PowerShell script. This is simply that every Active Directory user in your domain will have a folder that he can save his personal data and documents on it, and it will be mapped automatically when he logs in with his Active Directory username on any PC in the domain. So we have configured this using a PowerShell script, and then we begin configuring department folders, or we have also before putting the department folders, the Active Directory home or Active Directory user home directories are created on a file server. So you need to configure a file server role on your server and then begin adding these different Active Directory user home folders on this file server. And then we begin creating something called department folder. This is also after configuring the file server. We create some folders for every department and then share them for the departments so they can put their important data on it. So this is simply like Active Directory user home directories, but this is for departments and the other is for users. So every department will have a folder on the file server that they can put their data on it. How they can access this folder? By sharing it. And what they will do in these folders, for example, and its content, what they will do, for example, they can delete subfolders, they can delete files. All of these are controlled using something called NTFS permissions and SMB share permissions, and the same will be done for the Active Directory user home directories. The same, they will have certain permissions. Every user will have certain permission on his Active Directory user home folder. So this are controlled using SMB share permissions and NTFS share permissions, and then we begin configuring different wsus group policies for both servers and workstations. And we have been discussing that the wsus, it is a role, or it is a central location that you can from it download the different Microsoft system updates and distribute them to your different workstations and servers. Instead of every server or workstation to go to the internet and get the update by itself. So the wsus communicates with the Microsoft website and download the different Windows system updates, and then it distribute it to all of the servers and the workstations in the domain. In a normal situation, or in a worker group, or in a single computer environment, the workstation every certain time goes to the Microsoft website and check if there is any update for the operating system, and then it downloads and install the updates. What is the wsus policy? The wsus policy, simply the wsus group policy will inform both servers and workstations not to communicate with Microsoft website directly, but to communicate with the wsus server and tell him the updates that they need, and the wsus will go to the Microsoft website and get the updates and then distribute it to them. And not only this, wsus group policy will do this, or it will not inform them not only to communicate with the wsus server and get their updates, but it will tell them how to deal with the updates. For example, on the workstations, when the workstation need an update, for example, let's consider that the workstation have Windows 10 system on it. If it's communicate with the wsus server, it will get some updates. These updates will be downloaded on the workstation, installed on the workstation, and if the workstation need a restart, all of this will be done automatically, and this it is defined by the wsus group policy. So we have a wsus group policy for the workstations. This group policy will tell the workstations what is the wsus server name and how to download, install, and restart the PC, how to download the updates and how to install the updates, and if the workstation needs a restart, all of this will be done using the group policy. This is for the workstations. As for the servers, we will have another wsus group policy. Also, it will inform the servers by the server or wsus server name, and it will download the updates on the servers automatically. And we will stop at this step because I don't need the updates on the servers to be downloaded, installed automatically, and installed automatically. I need the updates only to be downloaded on the servers, because the servers should be online 24/7. So I don't need the server to restart without my permission. So this helps me to plan a downtime and tell the users on their workstations that the servers will not be available for a certain time until the updates are installed. So this is also done by a wsus group policy. So we will have two group policies, one for the workstations and one for the servers. Please refer to my previous video for more info. And at the end, we have created a virtual machine and we have installed Windows 10 Professional on it. And then we need to join it to domain and see different group policies applied. So we will see how the Active Directory user home folders or directories will appear, how the department shares will appear for the user, especially if he is a member of a certain department, how this department folders that are shared will appear as a network map drive, and how this workstation will communicate with the wsus. All of this we will see it in this video. So in the previous video, I have only created a virtual machine and we installed Windows 10 Professional on it. In this video, we will join this workstation to domain and we'll see the different Active Directory group policies, mapping group policies, Active Directory login script. All of this we will see it in this video. So let's begin. So here, this is the workstation, or this is the virtual machine that will be a workstation, or we will install on it Windows 10 Professional. And this Windows 10 Professional also include, or this version of Windows includes the Office 2016. Here we can see that there is some activity on my hard disk because the virtual machine is powering on and it is working on the hard disk. So here we can see that we will accept the license agreement. Next. And then we tell him custom installation because this is a new installation. And then we have a hard disk unallocated, or it is not partitioned. We will have two partitions, one for the C drive which will contain the operating system, which is 60 gigabyte, and this is the C partition, and then the D partition will be 10 gigabyte or 11 gigabyte. This is the best practice to have your C, or the partition that will have the operating system installed on it, to be more than 100 or 150 gigabytes. Okay, then we have what I have done in the previous step. Just a moment here. Again, here we have partitioned this. We have one partition, this is the C, which is 60 gigabyte. It is partitioned but still not formatted, or the operating system is not installed yet. And this we will make it as D drive, and it will be 11 gigabyte, and it will be partitioned or we will have its operating system, or the format, or we will format it with NTFS. So this will be the D partition, 11.4 gigabyte, and it will be partitioned at it will be formatted as NTFS. And also this partition, when the Windows operating system is installed on it, it will be also formatted as NTFS. This is the default format system for the Windows. Okay, and actually all of the new operating system of Windows 10, all of them recommend your partition to be formatted as NTFS. Then we will format it. So we need to format it so we can see it on the Windows operating system. So if you have a hard disk and you need to partition it, you need to see these partitions on the Windows operating system, you need to format them after partitioning them, of course. Then we can see that we pause the video until the installation is finished. So it's 54%. And then we will see it will be we will have it until it reaches 100%. It's 95%, and then we have it until 100. Okay, it's installing the updates, and then it will need a restart. So here it's getting ready. It's installing the different device drivers for this virtual machine. Here we see the hard disk here. We need to do something. We need here to get the MAC address of this virtual machine and tell the DHCP server to give this virtual machine an IP address based on its MAC address. We remember that we have something on the DHCP or on both DHCPs, something called allow filter. Okay, what is allow filter? Simply you will allow a machine to get an IP address from the DHCP based on its MAC address. So we need to get the MAC address and go to the DHCP on both DHCPs and add a new entry in the allow filter to allow this MAC address to get an IP address from the DHCP. So how we can get the MAC address of any virtual machine? We need to go to the network adapter and then advanced, or we get to the virtual machine setting and then the hardware and then the network adapter and then the advanced tab, and then this is the MAC address. Okay, so we'll tell him okay. We need to copy this. Remember, we have two DHCPs. We need to put them, or to put the MAC address in both allow filters on both DHCPs. Okay, because I don't think that the DHCP or both DHCPs will not replicate the allow filter configuration. So here we'll go to the DC Marvel 02, which contains the master DHCP, or the other one. You can begin with any one you like, because we will do this on both. So here we will have Kira off, and then we will add, this is the domain admin, and then we will go and we log in. Here we see that I am using or I am not making a full screen of the virtual machine, or I am not having the full view option, because this takes from the RAM. So if you're having a lot of virtual machines, you can use the window. Okay, this is the window view, not the full view. This will help you to save some RAM. Here we will go to the filters on the DHCP and then make a new entry. First of all, it was not allowed on my DHCP partner or my secondary DHCP. We all know that the secondary DHCP, it is on the first domain controller, so we will allow this filter. Okay, allow it, and then the enable and deny. So here we will make a new entry and tell him new filter, and then we'll put the MAC address. Okay, but we need to copy it. So we will go again to the virtual machine setting. So it is configuring the Windows operating system. Remember that after installing an operating system on a virtual machine, you need to install the VMware tools. We have said this before, for more compatibility and best performance of the virtual machine. Here we have copied the MAC address, and then we'll put it here. Remember that the MAC address in the VM Workstation Pro, it is with dots, but in the DHCP you need to have dashes. So we will remove the dots, okay, and we replace them by dashes, okay, because the DHCP will not accept the double dots in the MAC address. So we will add dashes, and then we'll add the PC name, DC Marvel ER01, and then we will see, after installing the operating system on the virtual machine, we will see if it will take an IP address or not. So now we can go and see if the virtual machine, it is installing the Windows. It will take a little bit of time, and there is something called out of the box experience. There is some questions to be answered. Here it asks you about the region. It's the United States. We will not add any second keyboard, because this will be done using the Active Directory login script. We have discussed this before. So here it's asking about the region. Then the keyboard, we have the keyboard of the United States. This is the first keyboard, and then we will skip the second keyboard layout because this will be added using an Active Directory login script. And then we need to answer a couple of questions and to disable a couple of options. I will show you what options we need to disable. Here it's telling us that if you are, just a moment here, it is asking about, or it is telling you that you are setting this for an organization. Okay, so this implies that you will set it up or you'll set your network up in a domain. Okay, so you will choose the second one. It's not for personal use, it's for an organization use. Okay, I think this is an old version of Windows 10 Professional. Anyway, I think the same the newer versions of Windows 10 Professional have the same concept or the same interface or the same out-of-the-box experience. This is called out-of-the-box experience. Just a moment here, it's waiting. Then it will ask here just if you need to sign in with a Microsoft account, so you can log in to this virtual machine by a Microsoft account or Microsoft email account, or you can tell him to access this virtual machine using a domain user account. So we will use this domain joined instead. Okay, so here it will ask you about a domain, it's asking you about a default account or an account that you will use right now to access the Windows with it. So this should be, or this will be a local administrator account. So by default Windows have a user created for you called administrator. This administrator will have full rights over the Windows operating system, and you can use it, okay, to access this machine or to access this Windows operating system. But as a best practice now, Microsoft disabled these accounts on Windows 10 operating system, so it create the account and then disable it. Okay, and then it gives you an option to create a new user. So this, as I said before, it was a best practice because the administrator, it will only be used for a limited time. I think it will only be used for installing the operating system, and then it is disabled, and then he will give you an option to create another user that we will use to access this Windows operating system, and this should be a second administrator, or it will have full rights over the operating system, the same as the administrator. So you will choose an account, we will name it admin, and then we will give it a password, and we'll use it to access after that. If we need to access the workstation outside the domain, we will use this account to access this workstation. So here we will give it an account, then I think I didn't put, I think I tell him admin, just a moment. So here admin, okay, and then next, and then we put a password, a strong password of course, and then he will ask confirm the password, and then he will give you a couple of questions that you need to answer with certain answers. And if you forgot your password for your account, he will ask you these 3 questions. If you answer them with the answers you provided earlier, he will give you the password that you have forgot. Okay, so this is the secret questions, and then he will begin to tell you or to configure some other options. As for our security, if you're working in a domain, so here what he will say, here you are telling it to do more across devices with activity history. So he is telling you, if you have portable devices like a mobile or something, if you need to replicate or synchronize the activity of your history with other mobile devices. So we'll tell him no, because we are in a production environment and we need our secrecy and privacy to be in our top priority. So we will tell him not to do more across devices with activity history. So not replicate the history of my activity on my PC to other portable devices. Here is saying that includes your website, so you can take a copy of your activity history, your websites that you have browsed, your applications and your services. So this is a security point. We will disable it. We will not make our activity history replicated to other devices, okay, or to other websites or to other applications, for example. Okay, some applications need our history or our browsing history to know your preferences, so you can get planned ads. Okay, so we will not do this. This is the best practice. No. And then here is telling us to get your digital assistants. Here I am not preferring to use the Cortana, because the Cortana will take a lot from the RAM, so I will not accept the Cortana. It will take more of the RAM and I don't use it anyway, so I will tell him to decline the help of my personal assistant, which is the Cortana. And then there is a couple of options we need to disable. Okay, some of them are related to your browsing activity and your activity on the internet. So here we can see that he is telling you that find my device, so he will pinpoint your location. Okay, so you can find your PC from outside, from the internet, for example like Google Maps or something. So we need not this option to be activated. We are in a production environment, so we'll disable this one. We will disable the location also. This I think does the same. So if your location is enabled, you can find your device outside your working environment. So we need both to be disabled. Syncing data or diagnostic data, this is some data concerning your activity in your PC. It is sent to Microsoft for studying it, or for studying the performance of the Windows. You can also disable it, because this also may contain some sensitivity data. And the tailored experience, this is also some data to be sent to Microsoft for making a best Windows experience. Also maybe changing the Windows interface or something. So I will disable this and this and this, and online speech also I will disable it, but you can leave it, and inking and typing. And there is a couple of options also, something called advertising ID. This is it is used to make, I think, advertisement on your PC. I think also we need to disable it, because we are in a production environment. Anyway, I will disable it here and here. Okay, and inking and typing, and location, and diagnostic data, and tailored experience. Okay, and we have the advertising ID. Apps can use advertising ID to provide more personalized advertising. So this is like also a breach, or it will take some of your data, okay, and provide it to some applications. So we will close it. So we'll close most of these options, and this is called privacy settings. So we need our privacy setting in a production environment to be, or in a domain environment in specific, to be very restricted, and not to have any privacy setting published outside to any applications or to any websites or to any companies, even included Microsoft. So here we will do this and accept. We need to disable this as well, advertising ID. And then we'll begin logging into the Windows operating system. We need to change this machine computer name to be PC Marvel ER01, and then join this PC to the domain. Okay, it will take a little bit of time to configure the desktop environment. Here we can see that it's getting to the internet, and it has got an IP address. So this means that our DHCP have provided it with an IP, and the allow filter is working. We leave everything as it is. We need only to change the name of the PC and join this PC. After that, join it to the domain. So properties here, I think I am just checking to see if there is anything. You can see that it is NTFS, okay, the D partition. And then we need to join this PC to domain, so we will right click this PC properties, and then we will tell him to change, okay, here to change setting. We will change the computer name, okay, and then we will join it from a work group to the domain. So we'll him change and tell him PC Marvel ER01, PC Marvel ER01, and then we'll tell him to join this PC to the domain. And then to join the domain, he needs an Active Directory account that has privileges to join PCs to the domain, and who is better than the domain admin. So he will tell him marvel.local. You can type marvel only or marvel.local, okay, they are the same. And then he will ask for an account to join this PC to the domain. So you tell him kraof or marvel. You don't need to type the domain then slash your account. You can only type your account, but this is for more to be more precise. And then we put the password, and then okay, and then he will have an error, but this is not correct. It will work, so it will tell him that you have joined the domain, and then it need to restart the workstation. So welcome to marvel.local, and then tell him okay. It will have an error, but actually it's not correct, because he's saying that the domain name does not exist, but it is there already, and he has confirmed by telling us that we have joined the domain. So we must restart and close and restart now. Then we will see the different group policies applied. We will see the welcome screen for Marvel domain. We will see the specific background applied, the specific screensaver applied, the Active Directory login script will be applied. We will see this PC icon will appear. We will see a lot of things that we have been preparing in the previous videos. All will be implemented on this workstation. So if we go, and first of all, how we know that this workstation had joined the domain, if we go to the Active Directory and see the computer object in the terminals, we will see that there is some data will appear. I will show you in 1 second. We have this PC in the domain or in the Active Directory. So here we will log into the domain controller, and we will go to the organizational unit, which is called terminals, and this organizational unit contains the computer, which is PC Marvel ER01. We will see a couple of things will be added in this computer setting, or this Active Directory object properties. It will contain, or there is some information will be added, the name of the PC and the operating system that is installed on it. So if you go to the Marvel console, and then we get this computer object setting or properties. So here if you go to the terminals, okay, and get the PC, okay, so we go to the terminals, and this is PC Marvel ER01. We will see that there is some information will be added. Okay, the operating system, here is the name of the PC, and it is added to the domain. This is the full domain name, and After a couple of seconds, the operating system fields will be also filled with the operating system of this virtual machine, but it will take a little bit of time. And this is the different data concerning this computer object in the domain. And this is called the pre-staging. What we mean by pre-staging is creating the Active Directory computer objects in the Active Directory before joining the objects or before joining the workstations to the domain. This is also a best practice, so the PC will go directly to this terminal or this organizational unit, because by default the computers, when they join the domain, they go to a completely different Active Directory organizational unit. So this is the best practice to let your PC join the correct organizational unit. So here now you can see that this is the screensaver. There is a problem with the lock screen, but here we can see that this is the login or the welcome message. So that means that our computer have joined the domain successfully. And then we will type our vision. We remember that vision is one of the IT. We will see the different things applied to this user. We will need to see the department shares that will appear for him, the Active Directory user home folder, the script, the Active Directory login script, the background, the screensaver. We will see all of this. It will take a little bit of time. Here it is the registry keys that we have discussed before in the Active Directory login script. They are implemented now. Here we can see that the display is not correct. After installing the VMware tools, it will install the correct drivers for the display and for a lot of things, and it will correct the display resolution. Here we can see that there is a lot of login scripts, a lot of registry keys applied. This is done by the Active Directory login script. We will see that some of the Active Directory script will be applied. For example, the Cortana will disappear, but for the keyboard layout, English and Arabic, they will not appear unless we restart the workstation again. Here we can see that this computer desktop, this computer PC is displayed, and it is changed from this PC to reflect the computer name. This is also done by our Active Directory login script. Here we can see that if we get it more closer, here we can see that this is vision, and this is as L, and this is in this folder. It's vision and it's in DC Marvel users. This is the Active Directory user home directory or folder. It is named according to the username of vision, and it is L, and he is an IT member, so he will have the IT folder or shared folder appear for him. We can see that there is a quota, so he is limited to only 2 GB on this Active Directory home folder, and his department share, he have only 5 GB to be shared with his colleagues in the IT, and he is the IT manager, so he is in the HOD folder, or he can access the HOD department share. Okay, head of departments and transfer. This is a folder between all of the departments, so if we need to share something between all of the departments, we can put it here. We can see that all of them are mapped as network map drives. The 3 department shares are mapped as network map drive according to the mapping group policy that we have been configuring before, and this is done by the Active Directory itself. This is the home directory folder, and it is mapped to L, and this is done by the Active Directory. So we can see that all of the department shares had appeared successfully. The Active Directory home folder appeared, the login script is applied, the background is applied, so all of our planned configuration is done. We have only one thing to test. It is the wsus. So we need this workstation to communicate with the wsus server on DC Marvel 02 to get its update. We will see that also in the upcoming video, but this is how most of our planned group policies and Active Directory logon script is applied. So we'll go there. You can see all of them are there. So we have a successful login to the domain, and all of our things are added. Here we'll just test to see if we can add any text file or something. Here we can see that this is the D drive and this is the folders. Okay. Then we restart again. Here we can see that the Cortana had disappeared, the search of the Cortana. We need to restart the machine again to see the different so the logon script is not applied completely. There is a missing or a couple of things missing. The keyboard, English and Arabic keyboard layout, and some things are not applied. This will appear after restarting the machine again for the second time. So restart the machine again. And we need also to install the classic shell. We can do this using, I think we need to see something here. If we go up, we need also to test and see if the 7-zip is installed, and we need to install the classic shell. I think we can do this also using a group policy. But anyway, we restart again the virtual machine, and we will see that here, for example, the theme for the Windows is changed. That means that the theme group policy is applied. And then we can see that this is the welcome message, or the intro or interactive message. And then we will go with Vision again. We do not forget to install the VMware tools from the VM menu, and then install VMware tools, okay, because this is very critical for the best performance of this virtual machine within the VM Workstation Pro virtual environment. And for devices or for driver devices issues, all of this will be fixed, or it will be handled by the VMware tools. So until now we have successfully tested all what we have planned in our domain: the group policies, the Active Directory logon script, the unified background, the logon script, the mapped network drives, the Active Directory home folders. So I think we can go a little bit further here. So this says that we don't find the idle logoff program. I didn't put it on the workstations. It will be only put on the servers, because I need the servers not to have any user logged in on it. So it's best practice to have your servers on the welcome message or the welcome screen of the Windows, or the login screen of the Windows, and no users to be logged into on the server, only if you are working from remote. Okay, so here we can see that if we wait for a couple of seconds, okay, we will see the different settings. So if you can get a little bit more closer, we will have the keyboard, English and Arabic keyboard layout installed, and the Cortana have disappeared, okay, and the time has been changed to reflect a Cairo time zone, and the performance setting also, it is reflected. So all of this has been done. So we have our Active Directory domain group policies scripts fully functioning, okay, and we need in the upcoming video to test the last thing in our environment, to test the wsus, and we will make another thing called backup script. We will backup the event logs for all of our servers. We know that the event logs on servers are very critical. Event logs, it is the sole, or it is a very important item in any Windows, because in the event log all of the Windows activity are installed, or it is recorded there. So we will take a backup of these logon scripts, these event logs daily, and put it on a DVD or a CD. So hope this video is informative for you all, and I would like to thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.